Hey, what's going on, guys? We're live again with another video. I know the Carabao Cup game is still ongoing with Man City and Newcastle, but today we're focused on the Battle of the Bridge, tomorrow's game, Chelsea versus Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. We already know Casado's unavailable, but today, two Chelsea fans that made themselves available today, Ty and Wolfie. Thank you for joining me on the channel today. I don't even want to go through the intro because we have a lot to talk about. So thank you all for joining me, and thanks to everyone in the chat tuned in. Those of you locked in on Twitter, as well as TT's channel and Wolfie's channel. Please, before we get them introduced, check out their channel. Please show them some love. Subscribe to their channel. Wolfie does watch alongs. He will be joining me on the watch along tomorrow evening UK time for the game.
Be gentle with me, Mel. Be gentle with me. You know you guys are favorites.
I don't think so because I'm hearing all kinds of injuries for Arsenal's defense, and it's got me a bit worried. So I think this is every time I play Chelsea, it feels like when you play Tottenham, you just can't stand them. You want the game over with.
How dare you compare us to Tottenham? How dare you? You know what? Yeah, I'm sorry to say this, but after that comment, I have to leave, man, because there's certain standards that I got to maintain, and we are not Tottenham.
And I'm tired of hearing the world. We're playing the world champions. Okay.
Oh God, even I don't say that.
But Ty and Wolfie, thank you for joining me here. I want to get straight into the video and first ask you guys, as you know, we heard the news that finally Enzo Maresca left after causing so much damage for the team. It got to a point where I felt bad seeing you guys miserable on your own watch alongs. Like, you know it's bad when a rival fan is like, the watch along was more entertaining than your own performances, but it wasn't even us talking about the game. It was us talking about movies or other topics. Because ain't nobody want to see Badia Shield or Tossin and like players that constantly make mistakes. Anyway, we now have Liam Rosenier, who used to be Arteta's rival. He played for Hull City, also played for Brighton. Again, another Brighton appointment. What's with Chelsea's love fest with Brighton? I really don't understand. You guys keep going back to Brighton. It's almost like you have a secret sister club with Brighton instead of
I'm telling you, it's cheap and cheerful, man. You've ever seen a birthday cake? You know when you go to a proper cake shop, you see the big one for 50 quid, but then when you go to a market or so, you see that other one for 20. It's the market. It's the market one. That's what we do right now.
Whatever was available in the market, you guys took Strasbourg's.
We don't do the big and the best anymore like we did on Abramovich. We do what we can afford, or whatever age bracket it is. Like as long as they're not an adult.
You know, speaking of Brighton, one player I do want to mention for Chelsea that I'm very jealous he went to Chelsea. And, you know, I have to call a spade a spade. Much better than Victor Gymsharkar is Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro has been having a good season for Chelsea, even under the harsh conditions of playing under Enzo Maresca and that Chelsea team not gelling well collectively because of having so many players not even some players not getting game time. Buonanotte, for example.
Well, can I quickly chirp in on this? Because one thing, and I don't know about, I know Mel deals with other Chelsea fans that are maybe not as hospitable or reputable as me, TT, JK, a few of the others. You're right. You're all right, Anthony. You're all right. You're all right, mate. How you doing, mate? You're all right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but one thing about Maresca is, and this is the problem, what kind of made it worse for him, which kind of like he hit the self-destruct button basically, because with him, and I don't know about TT's point of view, but when we beat Everton a few weeks ago, and then he's turning around and saying in the press conference, this is the toughest 48 hours I've ever had as a Chelsea manager, and you're like, you what? That's like Arteta, you guys beating us tomorrow, and Arteta coming out and saying, you know what, the last 48 hours as a Chelsea, as the Arsenal manager has been the worst over the last 7 years, and you'd look, huh? You'd be like, what? What do you mean?
That's the last thing you want to say to the media, you know.
Oh, but this is the thing. Like, we all know how corporate-y and uptight these football clubs are, regardless if you look at them as Arsenal, Man United, whoever. But when you air your dirty laundry in public, for any big business, whether it be a footballing corporation, a pharmaceutical corporation, whatever, and because they are businesses now, they're not football clubs, you're going to get in trouble when you upset the board and you upset all the people with the money. So I think Enzo Maresca, when it comes down to the hierarchy, because he hasn't done that badly this season to be sacked. So, we're in shouting distance of the top four. Once we get a couple of players like Cancelo back from his suspension and Palmer's firing on all cylinders again, and maybe towards the end of the season we get Levy Colwell back as well, because that's the other thing about it as well, that we've had a gaping hole in our defence that we kind of sorted at the back end of last season, but because he got injured in pre-season, it's made it worse. Now, Ida Shield comes under that category as well. Someone who can be good at defensive set pieces. He's good in the air. He can have his uses. But the main reason why all these defenders look so badly was because of his tactics. And this is what the fans hated about Maresca. Why have you got two centre-backs pushing up into a left-back position, a right-back position? Why is Cucurella a secondary striker? Why is Gusto a number 10? We don't look at Saka and think, you know what, he'll make a good DM,
We've actually played Saka at right back before, but
But he started off at left back and right back, just like Gareth Bale, and then pushed into another, which is fine. At least you're still wide. But what does Gusto know about being a number 10? What does Cucurella in the box trying to get on the end of things? Like he was on the end of things more things than João Pedro at the beginning of the season when he was proper like. And I think Ty can back me up on this. TT can back me up on this. Look how many times he used to pop up in the box. It's like, why are you there? And someone like Santos or someone like that has to drop into his space and defend it, or we literally just got counter-attacked. Because
half the time it's your defense leaking the goals.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, Mel, when you've got three centre-backs all the way up the pitch, two of them have just come back from injury, and one of them's not that good. This is the problem about managers, and I think TT said it, and JK have said it to me over the last couple of days, and I agree with them completely. When you have managers that are so stubborn in their ways, why is it that, for example, I'll give you an example, like a team like Scunthorpe in the FA Cup can beat someone like, I don't know, and say a Coventry in the Championship and knock them out. All of a sudden, they're on their level and they can beat them. Well, they do that because whoever's in charge of them has an idea of what he has at his disposal and uses it to the best he can tactically.
Yeah.
This is what tactics are there for. You cover up your weaknesses. You exploit the opposition's weaknesses if they have them. Or you have a certain plan, whether it be to attack or defend or keep people off you or whatever it is. It's a plan, basically, isn't it? Tactics are a plan. Now, as an Arsenal fan looking in for the last couple of months, you tell me what you believe Enzo Maresca's plan was. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think TT knows either. So you can. Hey, TT, do you know
Actually,
what?
Actually, I do. I think I do because I think this is a good place to really say something. You mentioned a lot of things and I think you actually know, but you just don't know that you know, because you just said exactly what his plan is. His plan is to overload the box, utilizing the fullbacks. So that is why the fullbacks are so advanced. The fullbacks are like tens, and then you have like a third man runner, and typically it'd be Cucurella running up and then to try to open up the gap for the attackers, and then the attackers can have that gap because he's pulling out a fullback or he's pulling out a centre-back.
When you got defenders in attacking positions, that leaves what behind? Space.
Yeah, but that's what I'm telling you, that you know what it is, but like it's a case where you're saying that this makes no sense, because exactly what you're trying to do, which is to try to let your opponents leave gaps in behind by pulling them out. You're also leaving yourself open to them doing the exact same thing to you, which has happened so many times. Yeah. That is why on the counter attack we keep getting hits, and then it's a case of having to run back, and then therefore you have less centre backs there, because the centre backs are also pushed up right behind the midfielders, like they are midfielders, and then the midfielders are pushed up like attackers. So it's like we're playing, I don't know what kind of tactic it was, which is why, when you had to watch along on your channel, Wolfie, I kept behaving the way I was behaving, because I was like, this is what football is. Freedom. This is where you call logic, because it's calculated risk. It was cautious football, but at the same time, it wasn't cautious.
Tell you what, you were singing like you were Aretha Franklin and freedom!
It felt like glorious to see Chelsea, like the players get in the right position. It's like you guys are so deprived of that this season, and I guess that's where Ty's reactions came from. He felt joy seeing the basics again.
Yeah, I was depressed. Literally depressed. I couldn't watch a game of Chelsea.
That's the thing. You just hit and that's the one thing me, JK, and TT always said over the last few days as well. Where's the basics? Where's watching your men? Where's making sure you kill the space? All these simple things. I know that. I was there, and I was lucky enough to be an assistant coach at, like, well, not coach, but just an assistant where I was just helping, like, do certain things, kind of like Arteta did for Pep at Leyton Orient. And even I know for a fact of, like, where is the drilling in these guys? Why does these guys not know what's behind them? Why are these guys pushed up so far? You got Badashili, Wesley Fofana, Reece James, all have guys that have had major bad injuries over the last 2 seasons, and they've all come back, and you want them sprinting up and down the pitch. Now, granted, Enzo Maresca's credit, he got Reece James fit. What's going on with Lavia? What's going on with Badashili? You know, what's the plan for Levy Colwell?
Lavia injury, like, it's gotten to a point so bad where nobody's even asking the manager, hey, when's Lavia back? Like, it's almost like he's forgotten.
What Lavia needs to do, he needs to go away for a year, get his body right. Because I got a feeling he's one of those players, he's going to be permanently injured for the rest of his career. So we need another ball-winning midfielder to cover Cancelo if he's suspended. Because that's the thing. If we added 2 or 3 really, 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 really good players to this team, like a central defender, another centre mid, and perhaps another striker. Because I do like the options we got, but the thing is with Maresca as well, he never uses the options we've got. Like you mentioned that certain players aren't. Why was Mark Gee not playing a lot? That guy is actually a good footballer. At
the game you guys did, he scored. He had a good game.
Well, the thing is, he actually displays things that João Pedro doesn't. He has that instinct where he sticks in the box, which is not what a lot of Chelsea players do. João Pedro has to come deep. The lap, yes, he gets in the box too, but he's too busy fighting to think of his positional sense too much. He's always scrapping with a centre-back. With Mark Gee, I like that. He knows where to pick space. Like, even with his tap-in goal the other day, like against Charlton, it was a tap-in, but you got to be in the right place at the right time to score them. And that's, like, in itself a skill. So, like, I don't think he fully utilised the squad. And some of the positioning of the squad, it's like when Arteta had Thomas Partey at right-back. You just kind of look up and you're like, right, okay, what's he seen that I haven't? You know what I mean? Like, it's these strange tactical choices. Like Jeremy Akagapong, right, which is a youngster for us. He's a talented boy. He can be a good player if he's allowed to develop. Why is he being pushed into a centre back when that's not his position? He can play there, but his natural position is right back. Why is Reece James always pushing into midfield?
That's what I asked Ty before we went live. Why is Reece James in midfield, not at right back?
Well, technically speaking, he started off there. So, like, he started off as a midfielder, then got converted into a right back. So, same thing with Saka to a left back.
That's not necessarily the case, though, Wolfie. He started out as a striker, then he was pushed back into the midfield. So,
did he change position or not?
Yeah, but I'm saying he didn't start off in midfield. I'm just messing with
you. So not quite, but basically what I'm saying is the truth. I don't want to talk to you no more. Go away, TT. No, I'm joking. But but going back to it, like another thing we liked about it was, didn't we, TT? The fact of we had a back 4 in that last game against Charlton instead of a back 3, and you could see the partnerships between the wing back and the centre back, if you know what I mean. You could see them linking up with play to try and like keep each other out of trouble. So it was one of those ones where it was nice to see the structure. This is what we always call it. The structure of the team was back. You know what I mean? We didn't look too brittle. When in the second half, I know they scored their goal, but in the second half, we steamrolled Charlton. They had no chance. It was one of those ones where, as I said to Ty yesterday, the day before, for 60 minutes they were in a game. Then we actually put our foot down on the pedal, which was nice, and we absolutely obliterated them. But, you know, same thing with Arsenal. You know what I mean? You guys did the same thing. You know what I mean? You guys have not been the best fluent. Congratulations, Sam, by the way. I just want to quickly shout out. You guys, for example, there's been a lot said that even though you guys are great defensively, you're the opposite to us. You guys have got your attack
stinking up the pitch,
further up the pitch, because we go forward better than you, but you defend better than us.
Yeah.
That's the top. If we put your bottom half and our top half together, we got a winner. But you guys, because of your defensive prowess, you guys don't get punished for your mistakes as much as we do. So, you know what I mean? You don't concede as many goals. So, but I do think, because even when you guys came to the Bridge last in the Premier League game, we were a man down, but yet we controlled the midfield. So for me,
it was crazy. It's almost like you guys played. Well, it is true that you played better with going a man down than having your full
well,
team.
In that case, hopefully we can get a man sent off in the first 10. Like, I don't know. Like, if that logic pans out, then yeah, we need to get someone sent off. Because the first thing we need to do against you lot tomorrow is just keep calm. That's the very first thing we need to do. Just keep calm. Don't get angry. Don't get sucked into it. I don't want to see Liam D up trying to punch up, because I know Saliba's not playing. I don't want to see him trying to punch up Gabriel and trying to take his shirt off. And I don't want to see Reece James grabbing anyone's arms. Or Cucurella. Just like, keep it simple, keep it effective, keep it disciplined. You haven't got to do this lavish. The combinations will come out once you get the base and the foundation there. That's what TT was talking about earlier as well. When we had that base and we knew we could pin Charlton back, that's when all the little combinations like come out. Benetti was combining with a star, Willian. You know what I mean? It was good to watch. It was fun. It was free, like he said. The Reefer sayings. Sorry, I didn't mean to rant.
Ty, briefly, I want to ask, we talked about the Rosier situation and how you feel like you said you feel freedom again with the players, like them having, not just you being free from Maresca ball, but the players having liberty on the pitch again.
Yeah.
I want to ask, like, do you both feel that Rosier can still potentially win a trophy, whether it be the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup? You guys play Hull City. Is it away from home in the FA Cup fourth round? Which I think, I don't think Hull City is a tough game. I assume you guys will rotate your squad for that game, but not too heavily. Do you guys think Rosier is capable of taking Chelsea to end the season with a trophy, whether it be the Carabao Cup and FA Cup? I'm not going to say the league or the league, or and Champions League, you guys, like, we're not even gonna go there. So I wanted to ask how you feel.
Are you telling me that you're doubting Chelsea, the team that loves to win the Champions League as the underdogs
in knockout football?
I'm just joking. But yeah, I think the possibility is there because, of course, as you said, the cup competitions, the journey tour. I think Chelsea have had some bit of luck when it comes on to the cup competitions. The Club World Cup, for example, is one perfect example. They could have gotten Bayern Munich, but no, they got Benfica instead. And as much as Palmeiras is a good Brazilian team, they got Palmeiras instead of getting a big European team. So of course that's that. But I think it's a possibility because one thing, it's not just about tactics, and he even said that himself, that tactics is one big part of football, but in this day and age, it's also about vulnerability and understanding your players, which is something that I've always criticized Maresca for. He didn't understand his players, and it's like Wolfie said, he didn't understand why players like Mark Guehi, I should say, wasn't starting or wasn't getting played even when he could rotate, because the reality is he has his way of playing. And Mark Guehi is a player that loves to press. He's a striker. He has that striker instinct of pressing, and Maresca wasn't about pressing. So I think Guehi will get some sort of life under Rosenia, because Rosenia is all about pressing and high intensity. And if you do have that high intensity, then of course you get to play. And that is why certain players will get a new sort of life, which is why I even said it, even on the discussion I had with Wolfie and even on my channel, that the reality is that some of these players, I'm not going to judge them. I'm going to give them a new sort of a different page and a new start of life on Rosenia, because you don't know how much they could do because they were limited by Maresca's way of playing. So I think that's very important. But I think Rosenia can win a cup competition at Chelsea because the squad is there to really be able to rotate. It's not like we didn't have depth as Maresca made it sound. But yeah, I think it's possible.
It's good. It's a good shout. Wolfie, how about you? Do you think you have a chance to win potentially the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup? Chelsea, keep in mind, when it comes to knockout football, no matter how shit Chelsea are in the league, in knockout football, they're a different type of gravy. I am not underestimating Chelsea, believe me or not.
No, we can on our day, we can give anyone a game. Look, that's the reason why everyone bigs up the World Club Championship. Not because it was a great competition, it's because of who we beat in the final.
Yeah, and then the way in which you destroyed Enrique's PSG, I mean, it just baffled me.
No, you know what it was? It was just simple defensive mistakes, because all it was really was they just weren't picking up Palmer. They covered the space, and when he did little jinks, they just never bothered to run after him. That's what we call tiredness. Because basically it was a post-season. I don't even count that as a trophy. It was a post-season trophy that it was because they couldn't get their Super League and the Champions League how they wanted to, which is kind of structured like that now anyway. They decided to make something else, like called the Club World Championship, and trying to make it, because basically the only reason why it was worth a damn was because of the prize money.
Yeah.
So
how much money
exactly
would go to Bowley and Iqbali, and you guys already know when it comes to money, Iqbali's not taking no.
But the thing is, I've mentioned this as well, because I'm not really upset by what's going on right now. I appreciate, right? You look at like any kind of club, you guys, right? When you guys were trying to look for financial stability after you lot built the Emirates, and Wenger carried you through 10, 15 years or 10 years odd, where you just needed to keep Arsenal competitive, keep them getting in the Champions League, keep them winning trophies, which you did. Because to be honest, if I had to choose now, like, I don't know about anybody else, but all you're getting under Arteta for me is exactly what you got under Wenger, just no FA Cups.
Yeah, top 4 in a trophy is what we achieved.
And I'm not being funny. Like, I appreciate, no offense, and this is the one thing, even if he does win a league, there's always going to be the saying, oh, well, Liverpool aren't quite who they were, and Man City ain't quite who they were, and Chelsea were out, and everyone will always downplay it, just like with Leicester. Like when they won it, but everybody else was rubbish. That's why Leicester win. Yeah, but that's not Leicester's fault. Do you know what I mean? Like, but it's one of those ones where if Arteta on your side of things doesn't win doesn't win a trophy, because everyone, this is the one thing I don't understand about your fan base as well. Like, I don't mean generally in a bad way, but when certain Arsenal fans talk to Chelsea fans and they're trying to talk down to us. And it's like, hang on a minute, who won more trophies last season, Chelsea or Arsenal? And they'll be like, oh, but we're in a title race. So? Who cares about being in a title race if you don't win it? Who remembers?
I think we're in that complete rebuild phase that, you see Man United trying to do now. You see Chelsea, in a way, trying to do that now under Bowley and Bluco.
Yeah, but the thing is, with Bluco, this is why me and TT, this is a particular frustration me and him share. When we listen to all the Chelsea fans chant, "We want our Chelsea back," and it's just like, what the feck are you talking about? Because like, one thing about it, and this is true, if you're trying to tell me sport now is this, football as a sport is the same sport that it was when the Roman Bridge took over Chelsea, you're smoking something. You really are, because the amount of financial constraints, rules, all this kind of thing they've applied to it. Oh, it's so unfair. This is what I said to Tony yesterday, and I'm pretty sure you heard me, Mel, when I said this is why we had the top 4 in England. For years and years and years and years and years, we had the top 4. Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea. That was the top 4. For years and years and years and years. So like 7, 8 years in a row, it was just those teams. Then Man City come into it. They knocked Liverpool out of it. Then it was Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Man United. Then Liverpool come back into it. After that, then we dipped out of it. You know what I mean? Like, this is how football works sometimes. You know what I mean? Teams have their rise, teams have their fall. But what I like about the Broly process, if you like, is they're doing it cleverly, as opposed to, and subtly, as opposed to all in their face. Like how Abramovich would do. It's two different approaches. But the thing is, they can't do what Abramovich did. That's not how, because if Chelsea end up in the red profit-wise, oh yeah, we get deducted this and punished for it anyway. And if we ever won any titles because of it, we'll end up getting stripped. So it's one of, because look at unlike Man City, who have the best, big up bases, unlike Man City, who have the best lawyers in the universe, we don't tie up charges for 3 or 4 years. We normally get, as soon as it's found out about, within a month, you'll know what Chelsea are getting punished with.
I think friggin' Jokeres will get 20 goals at GA before we hear about the results of the Man City charges.
This is when I go back into your system. Your system does not suit him because the team are not playing to set him up. This is the same reason why players at Chelsea have struggled recently, because when you look at how Enzo Maresca played football, other than Palmer, who was the outlet? Don't get me wrong, Neto will chip in there, Garnacho will chip in there, but who's the guy that really, really, really stands out when Palmer's not there? Nobody.
Sorry, but even before, I felt like, I know he's not there anymore, but when you guys had Jackson, if you remember, Jackson and Palmer, that link-up play between those two, the connection they had, it was so good.
Exactly. Yeah, he provided, and he improved under Poch. He got 12 more goals or whatever. And then when Maresca came in, this is the thing that me and TT also agree on, that the more the foundations Poch laid probably helped the players better than what the foundation that Enzo Maresca. He was too over tactical. He overcoached them. Maybe it might be even okay. We appreciate that Mauricio Pochettino might have run him into the ground when it came to training, but at least, like, because I'm not being funny, and I give this example as well.
Wait, I'm sorry. What did he say, Wolfie?
I said about how we could prefer the trajectory of the club, like about how things were going. It was a bit more known under Mauricio Pochettino than it was under Enzo Maresca. Like you could see where he was going with it, if you know what I mean. Like Jackson was going to be the striker, Palmer was going to be behind him. The winger on the left, the winger on the right, etc., etc., etc. Sorry, Mrs. Jackson, I am the real. Yeah. But yeah, I just think when it comes to Enzo Maresca, he just overcoached the players too much. It was too complicated. It was too much of this and too much of that. And it just ended up being his downfall for me. Sometimes you just need to keep it simple. But when in regards to the ownership, they're just playing it smartly. Like, you know what I mean? They're never going to take a risk, are they? Not really. But it's steady. Slowly but surely, the Chelsea club is making more money again and we're expanding.
I'm sorry, Wolfie. I agree with a lot of what you just said, but
I don't like it, TT, but this is what they're thinking, bro. I'm not the management. I'm not the owner of Chelsea. This seems to be their approach. They're trying to be clever.
Yeah, they're trying to be clever, but the clever that they should have tried to be, they didn't, because there was option in terms of signing players. They weren't clever because some of the players.
I know that. Donnarumma went to Man City for 26 million, bro. I know. But I'm not talking about my personal point. This is what they are doing.
The goalkeeper you tried to you didn't end up.
Why did we like going Brighton so much? Why didn't we try and get who's their centre back again? Their captain. Luis Dunk. Why didn't we try and get him?
I mean, Lampard won him a couple years ago.
Why didn't we try and buy him? You know what I mean? We bought Cancelo. Why not buy him as well if we like shopping at Brighton so much?
Because he's old. Remember, he's old.
Yeah, what I'm saying is you said about buying better players. There's options there, like you discussed as well yesterday with us. Like, there's plenty of options. It's just whether they take them. This is the difference. Like, they're trying to be clever, bro. Like, how many South American young players have we bought over the last 2 years?
Val Williams, all these
Kennedy Perez, all these guys. Bro, I don't know. There's so many of them. I lost track of them all. I don't know where they are. You know when you get you see a street hustler. He's got that little bit of chip underneath 3 cups, and he's spilling the cup. That's the South Americans at Chelsea right now. I don't know where they're at, bro. I really don't.
Chelsea has some underground shady stuff going on, I think, with all these kids signings. But
let you know where we feel, man. I feel like Diddy Island over here, man. What's going on?
Oh my God, pause. But we're gonna. I want to ask you guys injury updates going into this game, and also suspensions. We have to mention Caicedo foolishly suspended for your last game, and of course, gonna miss the first leg of the semifinals. In my opinion, right away off the bat, I think that's a huge loss for you guys in midfield coverage. Caicedo is one of the guys that helps, kind of like the anchor of your midfield, him and Enzo Fernandez. I do think Caicedo being the better player of your season so far, even though your season hasn't really started off on a strong foothold. How do you guys think you'll line up, and how do you think you'll adjust with Caicedo not being available? I'll start with TT first. And also, I want to know your injury updates. You don't need to mention Lavia to me because we already know he has a full-time contract with the hospital bed. It seems like we're not going to see Lavia put on a Chelsea shirt for a while. And it's unfortunate to say that because Wolfie mentioned, I do think he has become an injury-prone player, and I think he's. I don't think there's any way out from that, unfortunately.
The thing is, with what Rossenia said about players who are unavailable or may not be available, he was very tight-lipped. There's some players like Reece James, they were saying that they have to assess him because he picked up or not. But then there's also pictures of him training. So I don't know. I feel like he's being calculative as well. Cole Palmer, he said beforehand that they have to wait and see if he's going to be available because he has been playing not at full fitness, and he's been having an injury issues. Of course, the groin issue that he had. I'm not even going to go into how strange that sounds, but Yeah, so in terms of Cole Palmer, it's not really a certainty. So he may be on the bench. I don't see him starting. So in terms of who I see starting, I'm not really happy. And I was saying this to you as well, Mel, that I don't like the fact that the match is going to be a case of key players missing. So it's not really a fully strength Chelsea versus Arsenal, because both teams have injuries, and it really changed the landscape or how the match will go. But in terms of who I could see starting, my biggest concern and my uncertainty is if Sanchez is going to come back in goal, because Jurgensen has played the two last games. He played against Fulham, although we lost, and then he played against Charlton, and I think he's a better ball playing goalkeeper, and Rossini loves his goalkeepers to be good playmakers, because that's what he loves. He loves the goalkeeper to be good on the ball, and being like a fourth centre back. I don't understand, or third centre back, depending on what it is. So I think in terms of that, I'm not too sure. I'm saying Sanchez because Sanchez is the number one, but I'm not sure if the number one will still be Sanchez under Rossini, because Maresca had ulterior motives why he started Sanchez. The centre backs, I'm hoping it's going to be Chalobah and.
What do you mean by that, ulterior motives?
Oh, what's that guy's? What's that guy's? You listen. Both of them were bald, right? So I think that's enough.
What? TT.
No, but still.
Don't let Pep catch you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they called Maresca Diet Pep for a reason. He was Diet Pep. So, but in terms of the centre backs, I'm hoping it's going to be Wesley Fofana and Chalobah. I don't trust Badiashile, and I don't trust Tosin. Tosin looks like he's Bambi and ice, so I don't really trust him. Midfield, sadly, because Caicedo isn't available, I think it's going to have to be Enzo Fernandez and probably Andre Santos, because Rossini loves Andre Santos, loved him at Strasbourg, so I think he may end up starting. And unlike what Maresca thought, and a lot of the Chelsea fans thought, it's not Enzo or Andre Santos. It can be Andre Santos and Enzo, because they're not the same player. But Maresca misprofiled the player and said that he sees Enzo or Andre Santos, when Caicedo and Andre Santos can also play together. So in terms of that, I think that's the case. I'm not sure about the right back. I'm saying Malagusto Cucurella will be back, because he only had a 1-game suspension because of the type of red card that he got, which is obstructing a goal scoring opportunity, or preventing one, I should say. So in terms of that, that's the case. The attack is where I'm concerned, because as we were discussing before, Delap is a player that he knows well from Hull City. Joe Pedro, in terms of what you can get from him, in terms of him being more calm, he doesn't try to fight people necessarily. He's more reserved in terms of that aspect. He tries to link play, drop deep. But I don't want to be basing it off what Maresca would use Joe Pedro for, so I'm not sure. I still think that Delap may start the game, because Delap needs to start playing games. That's the only way he's going to get back into any form and to get some sort of consistency. I think Pedro Neto was saved for the Arsenal game, because he came on very late in the game against Charlton. And I hope it will be Esteval Willian as well.
Okay. I'm going to go to Wolfie before I show you guys what I think Chelsea will line up as at home. Wolfie, I already asked the injury update, so no point repeating that. But I want to ask you, though, I did hear Rosnier say that Malo Gusto was a last-minute decision on their fitness, as they didn't travel to Charlton when you guys played Charlton yesterday. But I do think it's mind games, and I think he will play.
I wouldn't mind Josh playing there. He played well the other day, so in this cup game, if you don't want to risk Reece James, play Josh there again and play Hater again on the left.
Yeah, he had a good game against Charlton.
I mean, this is the one thing about it. When you do finally see your rotation players, if you like, play well, why bench them? So why not? It gives us more credit than our own fans.
I like this. I started that comment, Dio. It's sad, but it's so true, the way he spoke about our club.
Well, he would do, wouldn't he? He's the new boy, isn't he? So he's going to be respected. He's going to do the PR justice. But me personally, I'd like to see Gu start at top. I'd like to see Esteval on the right, Pedro Neto on the left. I'd like to see Santos behind him. With okay, we're not going to see Palmer, so maybe play João Pedro there. I wouldn't mind seeing what they can both do on the pitch together. Then having maybe Santos and Enzo behind them. Obviously, Josh on the right, maybe Hato again on the left, with Trevor Chalobah and well, I don't know.
Oh God.
Well, no, he's not. Well, you see him at Palace last season. When he's in a structured defence, he's not that bad. But you know what I mean? When you got a choice between Fofana, Badiashile and
Chalobah, yeah, your options are already very limited to begin with.
Well, I do think they were they can do better, I think, being coached. But, you know what I mean? Defensively, they've not covered themselves in glory over the last couple of years. But they have a clean sheet in them. I've seen them keep clean sheets before. So they have a clean sheet in them. So... And if we play anywhere near our maximum, we can beat you. And I'm not being funny. It's not like you ain't got injuries either, and you ain't got because what? There's no.
I'm actually not that confident for this game. We'll get into that when we get to the.
I know that there's a big surprise that the man games that Arteta said he might play Havertz as well, which is going to be funny because whenever Havertz plays for us, plays for you against us, he always does quite well. So I've got a feeling there's going to be a couple of more. Oh wait, look who's in the lineup tonight! Surprises.
I'd be very surprised if he plays Kai Havertz in the starting 11 tomorrow. I'd be very surprised.
But in goal, I wouldn't mind seeing Georgeson, actually. He's done 1 or 2 good saves over the last couple of games, and we've finally seen what we paid all the money for, even though it wasn't a fantastic amount of money. He's not a bad goalkeeper. You know what I mean? Like, so it's one of those ones where if we can just get tactically our shape right, you got a chance. I'm not going to say I'm confident either because it's new manager this and new philosophy that and injuries, all this. So, you know, all we can do is just take it as it comes, really, and see what happens.
How are you guys feeling going into this game? For me, I was just mentioning to you guys off air that I would start João Pedro instead of Delap. I would have Delap coming off the bench. This is the lineup I think Chelsea will go with, and I'll even go one step further to say I think it's mind games from Rosenior to say that Palmer is completely unavailable. I actually think he will start the game. So I am going to agree with Wolfie and disagree with Ty. I'm going with Jorgensen in goal, Malo Gusto, Trevor Chalobah, and Fofana. Those two kind of pick itself because you want to, I guess, toss in and Badiashile. You have a game against Brentford at the Bridge, so those two would play that game. Cucurella, Reece James. I also don't know, like that one's a doubt whether Reece James will play or not. Enzo, Esteval William.
But that's Palmer. The thing, we can't make an assertive 100% on anything because we don't know.
We don't know.
Chelsea manager, so we can only guess.
Neto, and I'll change the lap to Pedro. I think I am more concerned about Neto because this guy has been prolific for you guys this season.
He's our best player, Pedro.
For me, your best player is Neto or what I've seen from João Pedro so far. Caicedo has been crucial for Chelsea this midfield, and you know the amount of money like you guys paid for him, he's shown season after season consistency. Like he drops consistent performances. The only thing I do want to say with Chelsea this season, and it's the rashness of the players, the constant red cards in the games earlier on.
Yeah, I brought that up yesterday, Mel. As you know, when I did my stream with Tony, yeah, that's why I said earlier. The first thing we need to keep is discipline, shape, and mind. I said that earlier when we lined up. Hopefully, we'll line up with 4 at the back as well because this team ain't good enough to defend with 3 at the back.
If you do 3 at the back, I think that would be easier for us to manage.
Well, yeah, because you'll just do what every other team does against us, go 1-on-1 against our centre backs, and as soon as you go past them, you're at Sanchez or Jorgensen. That was our Achilles heel, really, how open we were at the back.
And this is my lineup, what I do for Arsenal. But keep in mind, we also have injury doubts here. I just mentioned to you guys, Saliba is a doubt to play as he didn't travel for the Portsmouth away game. Same goes with Kai Havertz getting game time against Portsmouth. Just a few minutes, we saw him come on and play against Portsmouth. He had a good game, a good cameo appearance at least. And we're also hearing that Saliba is questionable. So my lineup for our team would be Kepa in goal, former Chelsea. I just had to get that in there.
Who's that?
Former Chelsea. Up the Blues.
Wait, who? I don't know who that is. Who's that player?
Oh, really?
Some goalkeeper called Kipper.
I don't think I remember that player.
One of the 10 goalkeepers you guys signed in the past.
Well, you bought him.
You just said number one of the 10, so I'm not going to remember who that is. I mean, so many goalkeepers, man.
Spanish dude. He was there. He came. He refused to come off against Sarri once.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Hi, Mabas. How you doing? Kepa, Ben White, Timber. I'm gonna go Saliba over Timber. If Saliba's not fit to start, then Urian Timber, which I think he's up there for our player of the season. Urian Timber. He's been phenomenal for us. Gabriel. I'm worried about him, whether he's going to keep his cool or not in this game. Whenever we play Chelsea, I'm always worried we'd get a red card, even though so far this season we've not had any. Knock on wood. I don't want this to be a game where we lose players to, especially when the second leg is at home. Big up to JP in the house. How are you doing? And then I'm going to go Lewis Skelly, Zubamendi, Odegaard. Midfield, Zubi, Odegaard, Rice. And then front three is Saka, Gyökeres, and then Martinelli. The whole Gyökeres situation, I know this can be like a 2-hour stream if I continue to talk about this Gyökeres situation. It has made me vex and made my hair go from blonde to gray. It is so frustrating that, and I know, Wolfie, you guys kind of mentioned this, that our system that we play isn't suiting the style of play for Gyökeres. We're not setting the guy up. And it almost comes across like some of the players are scared to pass to him. But at the same time, if you saw the game we played last in the league, the players are passing the ball to him. Rice plays a perfect pass to this guy, and he's still busy hugging up a defender way back where he's not in the box. Like, the positioning he makes, the runs he makes, it's not accurate timing. The worry is his positioning, and it's very frustrating to see him not being there to time his runs.
Like a coaching then, Mel, because you need to teach this guy where, if he's not got that now, so you need to teach him where to be, when to be, and how to be there. Because obviously, you're the manager. You set out the tactics. That's your job, right? Because
I don't think this guy's coachable. Like, I really think coachable. Hold on. What about Lukaku when he came back to Chelsea in the Premier League?
Yeah, but on that. If Lukaku have done better with Antonio Conte in charge than Thomas Tuchel. The problem with Thomas Tuchel is he tried to use him as a target man, which Lukaku is not. You need to use him how Belgium use him when he's playing off the shoulder of the last defender. That way he can get in behind, he can use his power, he can use his pace. He's not a target man. I know he's got the frame of one, but he's not a target man. That was the problem.
No. And the thing is, though, what's frustrating is, how can you see a whole system, Wolfie and Ty, like our whole system, changing for one player? That's never gonna happen. You're not gonna see that happening. But in all honesty, I hold my hands up. I do think this guy's gonna need time to adjust to the league. In the Portuguese league, you see he gets so much space. He got so much space in there. How can you be a top 10, top 11 player by FIFA in the world? You're rated top 11 in FIFA. I know people say the Portuguese league is fugazi. Look at Darwin Núñez when he came to the Prem versus where he is now. I actually think Darwin Núñez would have suited our system that we play more than Gyökeres with our system that we play. Like, the style of striker that Darwin Núñez is very different to the style of player that Gabriel Jesus or Gyökeres is. Go on, Wolfie or Ty.
Which striker did Arteta want? Was it Gyökeres?
No, he wanted Benjamin. Well, initially he wanted Isak, but the money for Isak was way crazy. We gave up. He wanted Benjamin Sesko, and Benjamin Sesko has more open play goals than Gyökeres.
That's right. That's why I'm asking, because there's a pattern here, especially when Wolfie was talking about with Tuchel and Lukaku. The thing is, when you give a coach a striker that he didn't even want, and then he has to adjust to them, and then you're saying that he needs to change the way in which he plays. That's where the problem lies. It's not good because he's supposed to be adaptable. I always say that. And if I scrutinize Maresca for it, I'm not going to be flip-flop and say something different for other coaches. But he didn't want Lukaku. Tuchel didn't want Lukaku. So in terms of application, and it does make sense as to. I'm not saying what Lukaku did with the interview was right, but it kind of made sense because he was just frustrated. He was frustrated because this is not the way he likes to play, and the coach, what the coach was telling him made no sense to him because he had to adjust to it as well.
No,
but
that interview thing was mad, Ty. And then the apology was even worse.
No, I'm not excusing it, but I'm saying that if people look beyond what he was saying and how hurtful it was to hear, he was basically just hanging out his dirty laundry and just saying that this is how I feel about the whole situation. So I don't know. Just take out the hurt.
The problem is nowadays you have systems for players, not players for systems. Now, what I mean by that is why do a lot of players get bought nowadays? Because they're versatile. We always hear that word, versatility. He can play right back, centre back, up back, left back, right back, any kind of step back. That's that, and this is why we have players like, look at Willian, Esteval. Even he comes into that category. You can play this as a 10 or a right winger or a left winger. What was the good old-fashioned days was, right? Back in the day, you had professional footballers that enjoyed playing the game, they enjoyed working on their game, and they enjoyed making themselves better players. Nowadays, it's just a job. You don't see any heart from the players how they used to be. Look at the ballers we used to have back in the day. Who now is a genuine player? You can say they've improved from season after season. They've improved.
Declan Rice.
I'll get the F out of here, man. Declan Rice.
You asked me a question.
He's doing exactly for you what he did for West Ham, and that he isn't bringing anything new. The same things I'm seeing Declan Rice do this season is the same things I see him do.
That guy is outstanding.
He's a scrapper. He's not a technical footballer. He can be technical, but the main reason why you have him is because he's that midfield general. He's the one that he bosses people about. He's not there to be technically graceful all the time. Like, you don't need that. That's not why you bought Declan Rice. You bought the Declan Rice to give you teeth in the midfield.
Okay, let me flip it back to you then. What about Caicedo? I'm not doing this Rice Caicedo debate. That was like 5 years ago. We're not going to do that.
They're different types of players, because when you actually look at Caicedo, and if you actually look at the roles they're given in the Chelsea and Arsenal teams respectively, it's different from what they had at West Ham and Brighton respectively. That's why I go back to players for systems, not systems for players. Realistically, Caicedo is not a defensive midfielder. He's actually what we would call a ball-carrying midfielder. He does more what Enzo used to do. He used to take the balls and go on runs from the deep midfield and bring it into play. And then you see it against Liverpool when he was hanging around the box and he ended up scoring like with Van Dijk twerking when he shot across his back, literally, pulls. It's one of those ones. This is the problem. With Declan Rice, why is it that sometimes at Arsenal you guys have to we can get more out of him going forward by doing what?
I think he's at his best now at Arsenal than at stupid West Ham. And the money we paid for him, that's what you get for a 100 million player.
I'm not dunking on
Jordan.
Russell.
Jordan, like for over 100 million you paid for Isak. I know it's a completely different position, but come on, you see Liverpool. Sometimes the money doesn't always add up for the players' strengths. And the money causes a lot more pressure for the player itself. Sometimes
you have to perform.
Yeah, and the Gyökeres thing, you know the Gyökeres thing. Before we move on briefly, I just want to say, Watkins at Villa, he could have been 50 million for Watkins. I know he's not he's not young. He's kind of older player. You guys see him at Villa. He would have still done more for me than Gyökeres has done all season. Benjamin Sesko in the last 3 games has done more for me than what I've seen from Gyökeres.
Yeah, but wait, you just said yourself that are we going to adapt our whole system to fit Gyökeres? Have Manchester United refitted their system to fit Sesko? No,
I don't think so. No, they haven't.
No offense. This is why I got. If you want to actually analyze systems, right? Chelsea, we're leaky. Arsenal can't go forward, and Man United, you get from week to week, you can get a crap midfield, a crap defense, a crap strike force, or sometimes you can get a decent midfield and a good strike force, or sometimes you get no strike force and a goalkeeper that likes to punch people's heads in. This is the problem. I don't think Sesko or Gyökeres or Lukaku were bad players, but TT's just spread that, and you just mentioned yourself. tactically, these teams are not set up for people. When Henry was balling for Arsenal and when Drogba was balling for Chelsea, the tactics suited them because that's how Mourinho or Wenger knew how to let Henry cut in from the left.
But he also wanted those players too. Remember, Jose wanted Drogba. Remember.
And Wolfie, you know the Henry thing? He didn't adapt to Arsenal right away. When he came, it took him time to adapt. But the thing with Gyökeres, how can I give this brother time when he's not even doing the basics? He's still busy hugging up ass with the defender way back there.
Yeah, I hear you, and we had similar frustrations with all the strikers that we've signed. I get what you're saying, but ultimately nowadays players don't adapt good. Like, you know what I mean? Managers don't base their tactics out on the players they got. They base their tactics out however they want, and then the players have to do what the manager wants in terms of, regardless of, because this is why one player will look great under one manager than rubbish under another one.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. But my whole point on this Gyökeres thing, Dio mentioned it in the chat. When we were doing transfer shows, I was up here saying, I want Sesko. I don't want Gyökeres. And people crucified me like I was Jesus Christ on Easter. People crucified me for saying, why do you want Sesko? He's a bum. He's not going to offer anything. You want Gyökeres, who's a bagsman. We were all doing the mass celebration up here, myself included, when we signed this brother. We were saying Glock 14, everything. And when you're not offering me the basics, that's worrying. Like, you know, Kai Havertz. I know you guys might not rate him, but Kai Havertz.
I like Kai. He works hard and doesn't complain. You
know the thing with Kai, Wolfie, and you know this because he's been in your team. The crosses that Saka plays or Rice was to play, you know Havertz, even if he was going to miss that chance and fumble the chance, he would still be in that position. He would still be in that area.
He's got to be clear, but that's the same thing with Timo Werner. He has the positioning, just not the finishing. This is the thing.
I would have taken Nicholas Jackson instead of Gyökeres. Nicholas Jackson would have suited Arsenal's system, and you can't tell me otherwise.
That's a Disco Cisco.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, Semenyo scored a brace, but the second goal was disallowed, and Turkey just made it 2-0 against Newcastle. So,
what's Man City having for Christmas? They're having Cherokee.
Yeah, Cherokee. Lots of Cherokee.
Yeah, cranberry sauce.
I was really wrong about a Man City signing Cherokee. I thought this guy's average. He's not going to do anything.
They were smart. They did what we did, but they just bought youngsters that were a bit further on. They bought them at 23, 24,
yeah.
So like 19, 20s. That's the difference. Because Cherokee, right?
But we wanted him too. The funny thing is Chelsea wanted him.
Oh,
Chelsea wanted him a couple years ago.
Who didn't Chelsea want though, Ty?
No. And then the reason why they didn't get him, and then they didn't get him because he has an attitude problem. So Chelsea said no, we don't want any attitude problems. Because they were signing young. Because he was younger then. He was 21 back then.
Who was it under Tuchel?
No, it was 2 years ago. Who was the manager 2 years? We have so many managers. I don't know who oh my god! 2 years ago. Who was it 2 years ago?
Pochettino.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years ago, man. Jesus Christ.
It was a year and a half. It was Enzo was appointed. It was 2 years ago. It was under Poch.
Yeah.
Yeah. My gosh.
Just like when we wanted Ugarte and PSG wanted him, and then
I remember that.
Thank God we didn't sign him. Hallelujah.
No, that's another player. You know what? Yeah, he's a player that I think would actually suit our system because he's low key.
No, he can't finish.
I don't think so.
He's not
I don't need him to finish. I need him to blooming tackle. I don't want him to finish. He's a DM by trade.
I don't think he would.
I don't think so.
I don't think he would suit the Prem.
He's already in it.
He's already in it.
He's at Man United.
I don't think he would suit your system in the Prem.
No.
All right. And our system in the Prem. All right, Mel. Fair enough. Because she's a nice lady. I'll let that one go.
Yeah, I don't think he would suit your system in the Premier League.
Suit in the Prem. He's already here, darling.
The style of play that you guys play, he wouldn't suit you guys.
No, fair enough.
And where does he get in your team with the amount of players you have for each position? You have like 5 players for each position.
Would be better than Croc Lavia. At least he can play.
Wait. No. Don't listen. And I wanted to say something about Lavia, but of course, there's not much time. But I don't agree with you that Lavia is going to always be injury prone. I think we may see it. He can turn things around. It's all about the physique. I think one thing that a lot of these players have, and you know it as well, because you're way older than me. The fact of the matter is that a lot of these players believe that having a lot of muscle equals being strong, and that's not how it works.
And they're trying to go for athleticism and bulk. That's all it is, man.
Yeah, so that's the case. So they think being bulky. So if he trims down himself, he'll be fine. So I don't think so. It's about physique and also proper bodybuilding. So I don't think he'll always. But yeah, I mean, we need to replace him. But we did sign Dario Zugo, and we need to know he was gonna get injured as well. So it's not like we didn't try. He was just
no. But the thing is, this is the thing. Like, look at Uchi. Yeah, when Uchi, if he was still right now, he could have done a job there as well. It's not like he's playing that badly at Burnley. It's just this is the thing that annoyed us so much as Chelsea fans. Like, particularly last season, there were solutions to the problems that we had on the books of players that we've got. That was the problem. Like, it's not that they do things badly that bad. The Blue Coast system. It's just the fact that they were a bit more shrewder, or a bit smarter, or a bit more in tune with the fans. Why didn't you do it this way? Now, and Jackson, to be fair to him, for a guy who was only bought for 32 mil, he got what? 25, 30.
Yeah, he would have suited our system. The Arsenal fans don't want to hear me, but he would have suited our system. And
don't forget, he's only on loan, and he's definitely coming back because Bayern Munich have already said they don't want him. So maybe when he comes back to Rossinieri's system, maybe he might find his system. He'll be better. Because no offense, he's improved. It may not be like fantastically amount, but you're not going to be around people like Harry Kane and not improve. Come on, you're going to learn something.
Also, I don't think so. That league is completely different to the Prem, though.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You don't think he's improved at all, Ty?
No, not that he's not improved. I don't think he's gonna really have a chance at Chelsea, because the reason he left was not just because of Maresca. It was also because we kept signing strikers. There's Emega to come in, who Rossenia knows as well from Strasbourg. You have you and based on valuation, and you can't not play Emega because he's more pricier than Jackson was, which is crazy to think that players are playing based on price tags. But that's just the reality. So I don't know if he's gonna really come back unless we sell View and we sell somebody else. I don't really see us having 5 strikers. That'd be crazy.
Wait on. So in your mind, we got Guy, we got Delap. Who are the actual the 3 other strikers?
You natural strikers. You have Pedro, you have View, you have Omega.
Yeah, he's not a natural 9. He's a natural 10. You know that as well as I do. He ain't you're not.
No, but what I'm saying is that he's
an option. I get he's an option.
I don't think Jackson's not a striker either. Jackson's a wide player. He's a wide forward. I've always thought that, because he needs to play off somebody.
Well, I wouldn't mind seeing him on all left.
So you don't think he's better up front then?
No, I think so. I think he is. Is the problem is that we have too many players in too many different positions still to come in as well. That's the problem. And he right now is on.
Yeah, incoming. We got more from South America by the end of this season. That's true. Yeah. David Washington Mark II. Do you remember that?
He's gone, right? He's gone, right? Washington. I remember.
No. He's in the academy. He's in the academy. He's injured right now.
Pedro is second striker for Chelsea. I would have taken. My boss asked me if I would have took Joao Pedro at Arsenal. I said it earlier in the stream. My boss, I said I would have taken Joao Pedro at Arsenal. I think he would have done well in the system. Big up, JK. How you doing, my brother? Co-host of Blues Brothers. Host is up here, Wolfie. But they do a show usually on Fridays. They did one a few days ago reviewing Ty's reaction to their watch along. And make sure you guys check out JK's comments about that over there. But guys, now I want to get down to the business. Battle of the Bridge, Chelsea versus Arsenal. I'll go first with this. Even though you guys are the home team, I am not confident for this game. And that's not me playing a poker face or anything. I actually think we're going to draw this game. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. And I think we'll win at home. I do think the second leg at home helps us. I know you'll have Caicedo back. Who knows what will happen tomorrow, if there'll be cards flying. But I think this game will end in a draw or a loss. If Chelsea win the first leg, even if it's 1-0, I wouldn't be disappointed with that, because I'm confident we'll handle you guys on our home pitch. It's a different story when you buck up to the Emirates, you know, and I think this team will show that. Hopefully Havertz can play the second leg at home by then. Maybe he'd have more game time under his belt to start instead of Gyökeres. I can't wait for the day that Havertz benches Gyökeres and I can inject all these Gyökeres fans' tears. But I know for as long as he wears the Arsenal shirt, in all seriousness, I do want him to do well, just like our other players. But man, you got to give me something to work with. That's my sister's dog. But I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I do think we will draw this game. I'm going to go over to Wolfie. How do you guys feel this game's going to end? And do you guys think it will be end to end?
No, it won't be end to end because I don't want to see that from Chelsea. What I want to see is calm, controlled, disciplined performance. I don't care how you set up. I don't give a shit what the tactics. Excuse my French. I don't care what the tactics are, what the formations are, what the lineup is. Just be disciplined. No one getting stupid yellow cards. No one fighting with anyone for so stupid reasons. No one going in with no kung fu kicks or flying elbows or Macho Man Randy Savage top rope diving like splashes or anything like that. Just keep it calm, keep your head, and just be disciplined. Because that's how we used to, in our heyday, that's how we used to be Arsenal. We used to just be disciplined and be on our game and just be nasty a bit. A bit like how you guys are now, to be honest. You know, it's not always pretty, but you get the job done. And that's what we need to do tomorrow. We need to be level-headed and just calm. Don't let the occasion get to you. Just like, it's another game. Just like, keep like your mindset. But again, because I don't know exactly what to expect from a Liam setup against a bigger team. Because let's face it, you only played against Charlton. The best I can say is maybe 1-1 draw. So, you know, that's the best I can probably, because taking all things into account, with you guys have got injuries, we've got players missing. If we can just like keep composed, nick a draw, maybe get a couple of more games on the belt for Liam, then we might be a better match for you when we come against you at the Emirates, and maybe we could nick something, eh? Who knows? But
hopefully no more. I mean, for you guys would think no more injuries for Chelsea by the time you pull up to the Emirates, but you never know right now.
Other than Concedo, really, no one else is missing, to be fair. Other than Levy Colwell, who we all knew from the beginning was a doubt for the season because of the type of injury he picked up, which was one of the reasons why Enzo Maresca said, get me a centre-back, and they didn't do it. So, that to be fair to Enzo, but, you know what I mean?
No. There's nothing to be fair to Enzo about. The man was making excuses.
All right, okay, but he didn't get a centre back. We all agree he needed one.
No, and but whose fault is that? He was the yes one.
Guys like me with Gyökeres. He's not.
No. I'm not going to excuse him because he was a yes man. He was a yes man because
he was a yes man, but he needed a defender to cover the Levy, right?
Let it go. He's gone now. He's locked down.
No. I've let it go. I'm relieved. But my point is that there's no excuses because he was the one that came out and said in the press conferences that no, we don't need a centre back because we already have centre back signed. So why say that?
He's gone, TT, man. Listen to what Mel listen to the big sister. Right? She knows what he's gone. Let it go, bro.
Obviously, he's gone, but I'm not going to give him any excuses.
You see that too? No, that reminds me of my ex, man. Like, just let it go, bro. I hear what you're saying. I didn't like Enzo. I never liked Enzo Maresca, but we got this guy from the Championship. Yeah. Okay, that's not where Chelsea get their managers from.
No, we didn't get him from the Championship. He came up, so not necessarily.
All right,
so he did get promoted.
Oh, just the fact you had to re-say it, but just say Championship at the end of it anyway.
You see, I don't hate Maresca. I'm giving him credit.
I never said I hated him. I just said I didn't believe he was good enough. Why are we getting a guy who came up from the Championship? Bro, Arsenal wouldn't sign a striker that come up from the Championship. Liverpool wouldn't do that. So why are we wouldn't do that. So why are we doing it with our manager? Come on, man. Oh no, Noni ain't got a point to prove. We sold him for pure profit, like we always do.
He's good. I like him. I was wrong about him. I was really wrong about him when we signed him. I like him.
He can do a job. He can do a job. That's all I'm gonna say about him. But it is what it is, man. Like with Enzo is better than what? Enzo is
better than Rosenior. That yes, man, you got. He doesn't like
Rosenior.
Rosenior.
Well, I'm not being funny. He obviously wasn't because the Chelsea board sacked him. And realistically, their opinions are the only ones that count. So
why do people keep saying he walked? He did.
All right, he walked, sacked, danced, done the
He wasn't sucked.
All right, then he walked, but he's not there anymore, is he? So
but you can't say sacked. When Tuchel left, they sacked him because he said parted ways. They just how it put it, they said mutual consent. Mutual. It came to an agreement.
Mood tonight, bro. You're normally such a nice and chilled and polite, and lovely, smooth guy. Like,
because we don't have these conversations over on your channel. That's the thing. We don't have these conversations. This is the first time we discuss these things, you know.
I'm gutted Wolfie ain't got his camera on. Why?
Pause.
You know what? Everyone here knows what I look like.
Everybody knows what you look like. What's going on here? This is not that channel, Anthony.
I was gonna fidget around. No, my USB port's a bit bandy, I think. So like, I got my camera's plugged in, but only the mic's come on. So I'll fiddle with it later. But I don't want to lose what I've got, so I'll play around with it later. Pause. Yeah, but ultimately though, like when it comes down to it, we'll just have to see what Liam does with it.
You know, I was really, really wrong about the Raheem Sterling signing, and I can't believe, man, we gave this guy. When we signed him, I said, yo, this guy might come back like when he was at City. Boy, there was no faith in him.
Oh, come on. The problem with him is he needs systems set up for him like Pep did.
And he's still at Chelsea, right? Like he's still just...
Yeah, he'll be gone.
Phased out. Just getting robbed. That's it. Just getting robbed.
No, but he's getting paid.
Yeah, of course he's getting paid.
He's not getting paid.
Of course. How come?
No, he's not getting paid.
How do you know that, Ty?
Because there's everything say that he's not getting paid.
There's no way. How's
that? You throwing up their controversy again? Like, can't you see you taking up the girl's time?
What
is this conspiracy theory stuff that TT keeps on chucking out there? Like, Sterling's getting paid. No, he's not.
I read that Chelsea don't want to loan him out in January because they want a permanent sale. But who's gonna buy the guy?
I'll tell you what, that white top there, that looks nice on you. That away kit there, TT, man. I love that Chelsea away kit. So I'm just admiring his kit. My bad.
Sterling was already watched 2 seasons ago before he came to Arsenal. He was a passenger at Man City for his final 2 seasons. City fans wanted him gone. Yeah, same thing with Zinchenko and Jesus. Jesus coming back from injury for us. Again, doesn't look like the same player he was before injury. I like Noni Madueke. Relentless says Noni's a basic winger for Arsenal fans. Need to relax. I like what he brings into this team off the bench. He gives us options, which we didn't have. You know, Reece Nelson, as much as I liked and backed Reece Nelson, we didn't really get end product out of him. And it's the same problem we had, struggling to finish in the final third, which is why I'm not confident going to Stamford Bridge tomorrow, regardless of the squad you guys put up or the squad we put up. I think this will end square in a draw, and hopefully we deal with you guys at the Bridge. If you guys don't know, this is our trophy. This is our trophy. And, you know, I'm one of those people that Arteta, you guys know Arteta needs a trophy. The amount of pressure that's on this team and the manager, I'll take a Carabao Cup. I'll take the FA Cup.
There ain't no pressure on Arteta.
I think there is.
No, as Arsenal fans, of course, you want to win trophies, but from the outside looking in, there ain't no pressure. This guy's blown it 2-3 times already. There ain't no pressure on him.
This is a season we need to get it over the line, and I'm taking the Carabao Cup to start with. Get the momentum going. We are starving, deprived. And you know, as much as you guys want to laugh about it as rivals and cherish every moment, we're a top team, and you know, we haven't been at the top winning trophies like Chelsea under Abramovich in the Abramovich era.
No, that's specific. The past, man. Talking about the past.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow.
TT world champions.
Oh, don't wind me up, Wolfie.
I can't stand when they say the world champions thing.
It is one of the most ridiculous.
It's like if we say it's like if we were to say we're invincibles every 2 seconds. It's, you know, as much as
no. I don't think that's a fair comparison. It's not a fair comparison. At least one joke. What a joke. What a joke.
We haven't won a trophy for over 30 years. We haven't won a major trophy. in a long time. A league
30
trophy.
years?
What a trophy.
No, that's not true. 30
Not a
years? No, no,
prem.
no, no.
Not a big one.
No.
Big trophy, yeah.
So the Premier League's not a big 30 years. When are you guys last with the Premier League?
It's
not
20,
30.
not 30.
Come on.
Exactly, it's not 30 years. I know it's not that
21
long.
years ago, they'd won
Yeah.
the Premier League, so I know that because I watched it.
Is yours gold? Yes, Trump has hostage in the White House. We haven't won the League Cup since 1993.
Oh God.
Stop skipping my comments. I'll give you an Anthony Taylor red card. Guys, thanks everyone for the comments. You guys have been brilliant, and thanks to my amazing panel on here. Ty, it's good to see you back on YouTube. I know Wolfie was also very much so encouraging you to join the Blues Brothers. They're back again. And JK, if you're still watching, it's good to see you co-host and take over for JP whenever he's busy and stuff. You know, oftentimes life gets in the way. I know how that is because I often slack on my channel more than Arsenal striker. But we're back in action for the watch along tomorrow. I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat. Those of you that tuned in, please check out Wolfie's channel, Wolfgang Division, as well as Ty's channel. They are in the description below. Wolfie also did a preview yesterday with my brother Tony Claude, one of the most passionate Arsenal fans and very balanced.
I couldn't get a word in yesterday. It was.
Oh yes, I could. I'm sorry, I had to leave. I had to leave yesterday. I couldn't see. I could see Wolfie struggling. He's trying to talk, and he continues talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. It was so funny.
I love Tony Club. That guy's passion. His passion for Arsenal is next level. And please check out Tony Club Gunner TV, as Wolfie was on there for the preview, and it was yesterday. Anthony, I just subbed to Wolfie's channel. Really?
Thank you, Anthony.
I think he meant he unsubbed and resubbed. But Ty and Wolfie, I'll leave it to both of you, please. I'd love for you guys to shout out your channels while I link them in the chat. Thank you for joining me today and for giving me your time. Wolfie, thanks for joining me. I think it's the first time you've been on my channel, as I normally join you guys on this. So I'm really glad to have both of you on here. And Ty, it's good to see you back on YouTube. Hopefully you're on here more regularly as much as possible, I guess.
Thank you. That's what thank you. I'm flattered for you having me here. I appreciate it. It is the first time on here. I've known Mel for a little while now, and it's finally good to be where all the other Mel's people are. So thank you very much for having us. I appreciate it. You can catch up my channel with Mel tomorrow. Obviously, when we're going to go for the hate along for Arsenal, or the watch along for your Chelsea fan, obviously. But that should be funny because I wonder how many squeaks and moans we're going to hear tomorrow. that should be interesting.
Well, I remember this Birmingham City Cup final. I recently saw that replay on TV. That was horrible. Thanks, Jose. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Sam, Anthony, JK, JP, Andy, Jose, Mabas, Relentless, Mr. B, everyone who tuned in, Jay. Thanks to everyone who tuned in on all of our channels. We appreciate it. Ty, if you want to shout out your channel and any content you have coming up as well, feel free.
Well, first of all, I know Wolfie for a fact can say that he's never been on your channel, but I know for a fact I've never been on the channel as well. So it's an honor to have gotten the chance to come on for this opposition fan preview. And yeah, my channel is more analysis based most of the time. I do some reviews and previews, but I usually tap in more into doing deep dive analysis rather than just saying, I can't believe this player missed this shot and all of that. So it's more analysis based and focusing on tactics and all of that. So yeah, but yeah, Chelsea Sessions, name of the channel, and as I said, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks everyone. Thanks everyone who tuned in. We appreciate it, and we got a big watch along tomorrow evening for the game. Those of you, hopefully we get a result, but I'm not feeling too confident in this one. We'll see you all tomorrow for the watch along and review of the game right after at full time. Man City get the job done, and Semenyo gets firing right away today as City go up 2-0 and Newcastle against Newcastle. Take care, everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow. Again, big shout out to Ty and Wolfie for joining me today.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.